their promises in 687 UN resolution. But real fighting did not happen. Real war did not happen.
A decade later, the victory is much less clear-cut. The Iraqi forces are long gone from Kuwait, but the United Nations sanctioned embargo is still in place over Iraq. The toll on its ordinary citizens is staggering.
There has never been an international sanctions regime even close to as rigorous and as tightly imposed as the sanctions that have been imposed on Iraq.
Saddam Hussein is one thing, and what's happening to the Iraqi people is a different thing. The Iraqi people are starving. People are dying.
Every one of us has lost children or members of their families. Not one Iraqi can say that he have lost no one. Every one of us lost our beloved.
Back in 1990, economic sanctions were seen, I believe, as a good alternative to military activity and force. Since then, however, they've been sustained now for, what, over 9 years. They have had an impact on the people of Iraq, which is, in the view of many of us, genocidal, in the sense that economic sanctions, on top of the damage done by the Americans and others in the Gulf War, has led to the death of possibly 1 or 1.5 million Iraqi people, and particularly children. So the maintenance of these economic sanctions breach the Geneva Conventions on Warfare, because, as we all know, civilians are not to be targeted in war nor in economic sanctions programs.
The general condition in our country deteriorated since 1990. Also the deficiency of the vaccinations, including the absence of basic things like toilet paper. This leads to outbreaks of many infectious diseases.
Before the war, I couldn't see any child suffer from the malnutrition in our country. Adra Saleh, 6 years. Her weight corresponds to the age of 1 year or less because of the deficiency of protein. The 6-month-old infant suffers from the chronic diarrhea. He needs special formula of milk to stop the diarrhea. This medical milk is not available.
In 1991, the United Nations voted a resolution meant to ease the impact of sanctions on the Iraqi population.
The idea behind the Oil for Food program was simple. That is, Iraq could use a certain amount of its oil revenues for the purposes of taking care of the needs of the Iraqi people.
When the thing started, there were some incidents that are, it's like black comedy, that are funny, because one of the companies had a contract to supply eggs, and the contract was sent for approval, and it seems the American delegate, without even looking, put it on hold and asked for explanation about the end use of this product. And the answer came back, you know, you boil it and you eat it, or you fry it and you eat it. I mean, these are eggs. This should give you an idea about how things are done.
So Oil for Food, in my view, where it has maintained a level of intake in terms of food, inadequate, although that certainly is, it has failed in terms of addressing the needs of the Iraqi people. And thus we've seen the maintenance of malnutrition, the death of infants in particular.
Since yesterday, we missed 2 babies because of shortage of oxygen supply due to no electrical power necessary to make the oxygen.
This baby will die at any time because there's no oxygen. But we choose that baby because his weight is higher than this. Chance of survival of that baby better than this baby.
I feel sad because I can't do anything. I can't help these patients.
We have no gripe or animus against the people of Iraq. Our problem is with its government.
This baby named Amal Salim, 1-year-old infant, and we diagnosed as pneumonia. She couldn't receive the proper treatment of antibiotic, and therefore the baby died. Especially, we have shortage of Claforan antibiotic. This patient needed.
What is it to the UN and to the Americans to impose sanctions on medicine? I mean, only crazy people would do this. I mean, this is medicine. What's multi-use? Are they going to make atomic bomb out of a few tablets of medicine here or there?
Let me make clear that the purpose of the Security Council resolutions was sanctions as their tool, was so that Iraq should not be a threat to peace and security again.
We uncovered the bulk of what the Iraqis were able to produce in terms of chemical weapons, biological weapons, ballistic missiles, and nuclear weapons. The infrastructure that Iraq used to produce these weapons has largely been dismantled, destroyed, or under monitoring by the weapons inspectors. So